Legendary Japanese soundtrack composer Ryuichi Sakamoto has died on Tuesday, 28. Among his many achievements, he won an Oscar for the score of Bernardo Bertolucci's movie The Last Emperor. The news was confirmed on his social media accounts. Sakamoto was 71 years old. Last year, according to the Japan Times, the musician revealed that he had advanced cancer that had spread to various parts of his body. He was diagnosed with throat cancer in 2014 and colon cancer in 2021. The disease had also spread to his lungs and other parts of his body in recent years. Sakamoto is considered a pioneer of electronic and hip-hop music for his early experimentation. In 1980, he released the track Riot in Lagos on his second album, B2 Unit, which is considered one of the first examples of electro-funk in history. Genre pioneers such as Afrika Bambaataa and Curtis Mantronic later cited the album as a reference. The inventiveness of his compositions led him to the cinema, where he not only worked on soundtracks but also acted. He made his debut in 1983, performing both roles in Nagisa Oshima's Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. In the film, he played the antagonist, Captain Yonoi, who sought information from prisoners of war, including one played by David Bowie, in a Japanese World War II prison. Both in acting and music, the film was dominated by repressed sexual attraction. While forming a relationship between repulsion and seduction with Bowie, brought to the fore by the fetish of militarism, Sakamoto's soundtrack was keyboard-based, with synthesizer distortions allowing for the cool and paradoxically pulsating tone of the narrative. The work earned the artist a BAFTA the following year. Furio's success boosted the career of the artist. The success of Furio propelled the artist's career, leading to an increase in production throughout the 1980s while still maintaining experimentation with form. His fame brought him closer to other celebrated names of the era, such as David Byrne and Iggy Pop, who collaborated on his solo productions. The composer's versatility in music and film. During this period, the composer continued to explore new segments of music, including the Italian futurist movement, while still showing interest in traditional styles. His 1989 album, Beauty, is a testament to this versatility, combining elements of Japanese pop music with traditional songs from the Okinawa region, and featuring contributions from the likes of Brian Wilson, former member of the Beach Boys. Sakamoto became a fixture in the cinema world with his collaborations with Bertolucci. In addition to the celebrated soundtrack for The Last Emperor, in which he worked with Byrne again, the artist also composed for The Sheltering Sky in 1990 and Little Buddha in 1993. He also served on the jury of the 2013 Venice Film Festival, which was chaired by Bertolucci at the time. He became a highly sought-after composer in the industry during the 1990s. Among other works, Sakamoto was responsible for the music of High Heels, directed by Pedro Almodóvar in 1991, the adaptation of Wuthering Heights in 1992, starring Juliette Binoche and Ralph Fiennes, and Taboo, released in 1999, the last film directed by Nagisa Oshima. Sakamoto's career highlights. Brian De Palma was another renowned director in Sakamoto's career, for whom he composed music for two films, Snake Eyes in 1998 and Femme Fatale in 2002. Although both movies were poorly received upon release, they have since become cult classics. Throughout his life, Sakamoto was married 3 times, including a formal relationship with pianist and vocalist Akiko Yano from 1982 to 2006. However, he had been in a romantic relationship with his agent Norika Sora since 1990, and 2 years prior had decided to live separately from Yano, although the two remained in each other's lives until her passing. In 2001, Sakamoto also released Casa, a record made in collaboration with Jacques and Paula Morelenbaum, a musical couple. The album was recorded in the former home of Joe Beam and celebrated the bossa nova genre. It received critical acclaim and was even included in the New York Times Best Albums of the Year list. The artist spent the last 2 decades of his life balancing solo projects with film collaborations. His minimalist and increasingly traditional compositions were featured in acclaimed films such as the 2011 remake of Harakiri and The Revenant in 2015. Despite battling cancer, Sakamoto continued to create music, and his dedication even inspired a 2017 documentary about him called Coda. His latest works in cinema include Love After Love from 2020, Beckett from 2021, and The Unreleased Monster, a new feature-length film by Hirokazu Koreeda. In January of this year, Sakamoto released his last album, 12, consisting entirely of tracks labeled with numerical titles. Critics praised his experimental use of synthesizers, which exhibited an artist who was conscious of his final steps. Sakamoto is survived by his wife Sora and 4 children.